with the VIM program, there are certain foods that you're going to avoid, like wheat and sugar. But the great thing is all the foods that you can enjoy. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that you're going to eat on a regular basis. You're going to start your day with hot water or tea with half a lemon. So you're going to take half a lemon and you're basically going to just squeeze it into this hot water. I like to use Good Earth tea. And the reason I use Good Earth is it is naturally sweet and it counteracts the sour of the lemon. So I would recommend that if you're not a big tart lemon fan. Then about half an hour later at the soonest, you're going to want to make your breakfast smoothie. So here's how I make my breakfast smoothie. You start with unsweetened almond milk. This has about 40 calories for 8 ounces. And we're going to use 10 ounces. Then I like to round it out because I like my smoothie really wet. So I add the rest of the ounces, I add some more Good Earth tea. Because again, it's naturally sweet, it's got no calories. So I round it out with Good Earth. Then you're going to add in flax meal. And it's 2 tablespoons. I've been doing this so long that I just approximate my 2 tablespoons. So that's about 2 tablespoons right there. And then we have green powder. I like to add 1 scoop, which I believe is a tablespoon, I don't remember. This is the Amazing Grass green superfood. It also has some probiotics in it. But from what I understand, the probiotics in this is pretty small. So I also add additional probiotics you can take in capsule form sometime during the day. I buy this powdered form. It's a multi-dophilus powder, and I just add a little bit to that. And what they recommend here is basically 1 level teaspoon. Then you're going to add in your 2 tablespoons of rice protein. This is Nutribiotic organic rice protein, and it's a very good value because it comes in a 3-pound container, and you can buy it online on Amazon for a very reasonable amount. And 1 container should last you possibly between 1 to 2 months. So it's a good idea to maybe order a couple of these while you're ordering if you can afford to do that. Then there are a couple of things that I need to grab from my refrigerator. One is frozen berries. So we grab the frozen berries, and I also keep my bananas frozen. So what I do is when I have really ripe bananas, I cut them in half and I freeze them right away. I wrap them in wax paper. So you drop half of a frozen banana into your smoothie, and then you do half a cup of berries, which half a cup corresponds to me to about a handful. And so there's about half a cup right there of berries. These are organic triple berry blend from Costco. It's a great value if you have a Costco membership. And then you take that, and you take those ingredients, and you simply put them in a blender and let it run, and you have a really wonderful, nutritious, anti-inflammatory breakfast. The flax meal gives you the balance of omega-3 to omega-6s that minimizes inflammation in your body. And some of the other ingredients, the green food, the berries are also anti-inflammatory. This is a wonderful and very, very healthy way to start your morning. Now there's things you can do to make your life easier during the course of your day. One thing you can do is pre-make your salad. So again, I reach into my fridge and I get this wonderful organic broccoli slaw that comes from Trader Joe's. I open up the package, I dump it in here. Then I add half a cup of olive oil. Again, I've been doing it enough that I have an idea of how much that is. I add at least half a cup of this great white balsamic vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar or whatever you like. It's either vinegar or lemon juice. But I love this white balsamic. It's slightly sweet. It's quite delicious. And it's clear. So you take that and you do about half a cup of that. I like to go a little extra because I like my broccoli slaw a little bit on the juicy side. Then we add a flavoring. This is Spike. Spike comes in forms that are either low sodium or no sodium, and that's up to you. I like a little bit of sodium for the flavor, but it's much lower than adding salt. So Spike is a great thing to keep on hand. It gives flavor to just about any food. So I add about a tablespoon, and again this is to taste. Of the Spike. Then what I do is just stir everything real well, and then let it sit. Let it sit and marinate, because the broccoli can be kind of hard and this softens it. I would let it marinate at least 3 to 4 hours, or possibly overnight if you anticipate what you're going to want to eat today. I know it's hard sometimes to anticipate a day in advance, but the more you can do food prep in advance, the easier life will be. I like to prepare lots of food at one time. So that way I can eat for days at a time. I have my food set. That's what I do with beans. So with beans, you can take various types of beans, mung beans, Atsuki beans. The list here that we have, our refrigerator overview list, Atsuki, black beans, black-eyed peas, garbanzo, green beans, mung beans, navy beans, white beans. There's so many wonderful beans to choose from. What you can do is, if you have a crock pot, you can take your beans and cook them slowly in a crock pot. We have a solar oven here, which is really nice. You stick it out in the sun, you let it cook for a few hours, you come home, whether you're using a crock pot or a solar oven, you basically have your food set. And that is a really nice thing. You can use a pressure cooker to cook beans, and that will cook your beans in a matter of minutes. Same thing with squashes. You might anticipate cooking your squash out in the solar oven if you have it, or in some way you could steam a squash or bake it and anticipate how much you're going to eat for that week. I keep a cooked squash in my refrigerator that I can heat up and eat as part of a meal quite easily. I always have greens. I always have salad greens. So for example, with this broccoli slaw, you can serve it over salad. You can serve it over salad greens, and it's wonderful. There's all kinds of salads that you can make. You can look online and you can find many more recipes than I could ever come up with. And you can eat all types of steamed vegetables. So I have a simple vegetable steamer, and I'll show you right now what that looks like. There's many different forms of steamer, but this steamer basket simply fits inside a pot. You add water. You fill it below the level of the steamer. You put it on the stove. You cover it. You put the vegetables in it. You can steam broccoli, green beans, any type of greens like chard or kale, and it steams up very, very quickly. You could even steam potatoes this way, and you'll be surprised at how fast potatoes will cook in a steamer. Small potatoes will cook in maybe 10 minutes time. So that's another thing to consider. I like to make my list, know what I'm going to be buying every week. So you know you're going to use 3.5 lemons, you know you're going to use 3.5 bananas. You're going to need all the ingredients for your smoothies. I like to order, as I said, the rice protein online, the Amazing Grass Super Green Food online. Those are great values online. You keep Spike nutritional yeast. If you like nutritional yeast, it's a great flavoring for food, and it's also got wonderful nutritional value. And enjoy your food. I think one of the things that I have found on this meal plan is that food tastes better for me. I think that the food I was eating that was inflammatory, I was not able to really taste my food, and now I feel like I'm discovering new flavors, and simple foods taste really wonderful. I really enjoy what I'm eating, and I hope you will too. Okay, thanks. All right. That's a wordy one, but I have to do a bunch, so.
Sounded good though.